So, KSI, JJ, or simply Olatunji. I think I said that right. JJ has had an incredible journey on YouTube, from Heskey time to multiple chart-topping hits, well, almost, to a professional boxer bringing in millions of views around the world. The path that KSI has walked down in his 14-year online career is utterly unique. But from the start, KSI was the very essence of unique, creating great works of comedy fairly early on. It was hard to not like him. Today, I'd like to dissect the journey that is the long-lasting and ever-changing spiral called JJ's content creation career. Stick with me to find out if I can, because by Lord is there a lot to cover. Now, this video will have chapters, so if you'd like to skip ahead, use the timeline below. And as always, if you enjoy listening to my words, smash like and drop me a cheeky sub. Cheers. Jide Junior was JJ's first channel, believe it or not. Obviously these videos go back 14 years, officially making these the first videos uploaded by JJ. Interestingly, 4 out of the 9 videos are actually related to his secondary school, particularly Year 10 homework if you was wondering, meaning KSI was around the age of 15 for all you international viewers. I find it a funny thought to imagine JJ's science teacher encouraged his early creations in a weird way.
Here is a short clip of what radio telescopes have shown us.
The remainder of the videos on the channel were just short clips of FIFA moments with no commentary, just almost definitely copywritten music over the top. The first time we hear the voice of JJ is actually in Chemistry Homework Rap.
I'm making success by doing the harbor process. This is what we do to get the product ammonia, cause I'm telling you about the...
Although the audio quality is similar to that of a budget film recorded in the middle of World War II, nevertheless, KSI was born, and the fact that it was a rap, maybe loosely, is a stark comparison to what he would eventually become over a decade later. I mean, the videos uploaded to the Jide Junior channel were not the best, shall we say, but obviously this is around the time KSI didn't exist. He was just a young man dabbling in the world of video creation. By the 9th upload, simply called Physics Rap, there is a definite improvement in editing and quality in general. He even brings out his signature bold red subtitle, which will end up becoming iconic during the peak FIFA Funnies era. But of course, we'll get to that. With this being the final video before the KSI LGBT is created, is almost a sneak peek for a sliver of what is to come in the following 5 years and beyond. Although these kind of videos would probably be considered cringe to look back on for the creators, you have to admire the fact that these videos are fully available to watch still. You wouldn't want to see some of my private videos. I don't even want to. 1K special? Anyway, I just wanted to touch on this important part of JJ's story before we move on to the main channel. So, let's crack on. The start of the KSI channel takes us back to the 1st of February 2010, where he uploaded an epic care package kill on a legendary map, Karachi, on Modern Warfare 2. Being 90% FIFA channel beyond the second upload is an interesting development. But before we move on, I can't just skim over the second Modern Warfare 2 video on the channel. KSI raps over gameplay of him in a 5v1 S&D match, and it's exactly what you expect. Take a quick look.
Hey, this is your boy KSI Jide BT. What's up, bitches? Ain't over. Yeah. Bang, 40 seconds is all I get shot. I look at this guy, man, what do you think he's doing? Thinking that I'm dead, man, he must be tripping. 2 dead, 1 left to go. Noob tube in my ass, man, that ain't the way to go. So I return and take my...
Yeah, decent gameplay too. The first voiceover FIFA clip is FIFA 11 minus foul equals win, question mark, plus voiceover. It's a video I can only describe as awkward. Like, the goal was pretty good, but it was kind of obvious the voiceover was inserted after the clip was recorded, making the whole VO feel off and lacks energy at this point.
Oh, yes! Come on! Get in there, my son.
As time passes with each video JJ uploads, you can slowly see the crazy personality creep in, more creativity, more humour, and a general increase in quality. Around this time, we see KSI dabble in different styles of videos, from compilation to commentary to even comedic tutorials. His Ultimate Team compilation videos were his bread and butter at the very beginning, and with them being somewhat well edited, They may have required KSI to test his editing skills every time he produced one of these videos. They seem basic to today's standards, but for the time, they were ahead of the curve in terms of quality. Most people, including myself, were still uploading 360p gameplay of terrible MW2 quickscopes over a highly copywritten song. KSI, on the other hand, was getting better by the upload. Let's shift forward to May 2011. Over a year of uploading to the KSI channel. By now, every video contains the voice of JJ, which sounds like an odd thing to state, but what I mean is that the channel was developing character. It's no longer a skilled FIFA player uploading montages of goals in Ultimate Team. Instead, we get humorous commentaries discussing opinions on players or the meta in the game, and a few different types, dotted here and there. These videos are still relatively tame in terms of style and energy, not quite the FIFA epics we would soon see. Instead, we get honest commentaries where JJ discusses his thoughts in a loosely formatted video with little bits of comedy thrown in for good measure. Out of nowhere, KSI releases top 5 goals of the week FIFA 11. Here you can see a glimpse of the wacky, loud personality tucked away in JJ, which I find quite funny considering he commentates over goals he didn't actually even score. In a strange way, this kind of shows a little bit of humility. Or maybe not, maybe I'm looking too far into it. JJ continues through the month of May, uploading a few videos of each style, a couple of tutorials, top 5 goals and commentary style videos, which are arguably the best so far. On the 10th of June 2011, things started to change dramatically. JJ gives us FIFA 11 Ultimate Team, Milner is a beast. In this video, JJ kicks up the energy into hyperdrive. It's funny, over the top and kind of an underrated opinion, showing that JJ is a real veteran of the game, proving this by always searching for the meta in Ultimate Team. It's fun to see the evolution JJ went through in just over a year. From being somewhat quiet, tame, to, well, KSI. We're starting to see that unique style popping through, and the audience certainly didn't slow down from here. The day after the Milner video was released, the KSI channel hit the mighty 10k subs.
KSI Jide BT. And basically today I just want to say a big fat thank you. Thank you so much for 10k subs.
Which seems trivial now considering he's at 24 million. But at the time you could definitely tell that this milestone was huge for JJ. He shows true appreciation at this point and it's nice to see. From here on in, the growth never really stopped. KSI goes from strength to strength, developing his niche in over-the-top FIFA videos with his insane style. He was almost impossible to replicate. Let's take a look at the next era KSI continued through. I'd like to call it the personality development stage. KSI begins perfecting his epic style dramatised videos, and it's almost around the time he decides to branch out away from FIFA, and thus he creates his second channel, so he can do exactly that. The second channel allows JJ to have a secondary outlet, which in turn gives him more freedom as the audience built up on the main channel, which were probably big FIFA fans. Ultimately, this could risk alienation for the main channel, if he uploads non-FIFA content. The second channel's content was fairly irregular at the beginning of his life. There wasn't much of an upload pattern. Sometimes there could be a couple of videos a week or none for a month, but I guess that is something you would expect from a second channel. It probably wasn't top priority as the main channel was on the up and up. In fact, let's go back to the main channel for a while. August 2011, KSI hit 20,000 subs.
Basically, I just want to say thank you so much for 20,000 subscribers, or more than 20,000 subscribers.
And we finally get a face reveal where we see this face. Yes kids, this used to be JJ in all his glory. Not quite the man mountain we know today, right? Even the face reveal is exceptionally funny. He explains his random name and quips a few jokes, as usual. For those of you who don't know what KSI stands for, it's knowledge, strength and integrity, and the BT stands for British Telecoms, a British communication service and probably JJ's supplier at the time, which says a lot about Jide, JJ's dad. He should have went with NTL. Amazingly, in just 5 months, the KSI channel had hit a massive milestone, 100,000 subscribers, and he showed no sign of slowing down. With every upload, he just got more confident, funnier, and really honed his editing skills to match his pacing. Quick, over the top, wacky FIFA commentaries is the niche, and KSI pretty much birthed this style. And you can only but admire the creativity in putting one of these together. After hitting the big 100k, he continues his upward drive, pushing out great consistent content, and things went exactly how you'd expect. Fantastic. And then it happens. JJ releases a video so good it shatters the FIFA YouTube space. It propels one man into legendary meme status. This video shows a return to roots, so to speak. This video, if you haven't guessed, is the one and only Heskey time.
Don't know what you're messing with. This is Heskey kid, he's the best there is. When he faces shot and hits, we let me still misses. Heskey don't.
Interestingly, this video launched KSI to a whole new audience, with its internationally loved catchy song and lyrics, laced with the classic KSI spin. Randolph and KSI create one of, if not the greatest football parody music video of all time. This video currently sits on 11 million views, which is an outstanding amount considering the video is probably older than Dan TDM's entire audience. After Heskey time, KSI continued on his stairway to stardom, only getting bigger and bigger in the FIFA category, which by this point is essentially the largest FIFA creator to grace the platform at the time. But what's the issue with that? Diversification. And if you follow Gary V, you'll know that diversification... I'm sorry, I can't say that. In the background of all the FIFA content on the main channel in the year of 2012, JJ has been uploading more frequently to his alt channel, The Sneaky Devil. These were just Dead Space 2 gameplays for a while, until we ventured into other games like Saints Row 3 and then onto the infamous Amnesia to get all those sweet scary actions.
Oh my god! Bad idea! No!
After the success of PewDiePie's series of the same game, you can imagine this grew into a trend at the time. Around April 2012, JJ switched it up again with one of the greatest decisions he's made to date. He starts to play indie games, or flash games at the time. Playing these less than desirable games, mixed with the humour KSI is known for, is a recipe for success. Just when you think you couldn't get any better, JJ introduced his brother into the videos with himself, Deji. The dynamic mannerisms between the two is so ridiculously good that the video forces you to be immersed into the world of banter between the siblings. These videos are so casually funny, it's incredible. They literally don't have to try and they could still bring you to tears. I for one couldn't get enough of these videos and the views spoke for themselves. So JJ done exactly that with Deji, becoming an increasingly bigger character on the second channel. These videos are some of the best and that is a fact. Back over on the main channel, perhaps some elements of the second channel started to bleed into the main content. We start seeing more vlog type videos, Q&As, rap parodies, videos with family members and of course the bread and butter FIFA videos. All of these new strategies were working immensely for JJ, evidently, as they now hold millions of views and in some cases overtaking the FIFA videos on popularity. Maybe there's a little bit of foreshadowing going on for what is to become of KSI in the future of the channel. Through a good year of consistent content creation and experimentation, I believe the year of 2012 is where KSI really perfected his personality he held on to on the early days of his career and still holds partially today, although a calmed down version. This is really nailed home by the end of 2012 as he sat on 1 million subscribers on the KSI channel. I'd like to jump into the next chapter of the video where KSI hit the rising star era. So let's take a look. This era spans a long time, as JJ is usually always rising. The best way to try and pin down the start and the end of the era is probably by trying to find the point where KSI took that step from being just a YouTuber to a real celebrity, and even a household name. So let's take a look at the timeline. Beyond Heskey time, I would put JJ in the category of a fully fledged rising star due to the overwhelming response and the rate of growth he experienced past this point on both his main channel and the second channel. So the start of the era would be around 2012. Easy, right? Well, in 2016, KSI appeared in his first feature film, which was received. He also released his first official single in 2015, so I'd say somewhere around there would be where he started to break out from more than just YouTube. Through the years of 2012 to 2016, what did KSI do to go from a young 19-year-old screaming beast into a microphone to releasing his first song and eventually leading him to become a professional boxer? Well, the answer is fairly simple. I believe he continued to make videos, only this time he had a big enough audience to be able to show him the direction he needed to go to keep the hype train up, and it appeared that direction was more personal content with the JJ spin slapped onto it. As time goes on, we start to see a shift in content from purely FIFA based, it ever so slightly shifts to a channel about JJ and sometimes his family. Rather than KSI being the brand, he was changing the image to be JJ, not just that funny FIFA guy. The second channel was a great case study for this. It was clear cut that this is what people wanted. No doubt some people were probably a little peeved by this change, but overall I think the change was needed and ultimately it was a positive for JJ. As time went on, JJ gave his fans exactly that, more JJ. He would release Q&A Sundays, or occasionally there would be vlogs instead. He would stream regularly and upload the highlights to the second channel, and we'd get random skit like videos, and as you know, this would bring in far more watchers than you could imagine. KSI has such an internationally enjoyed humour that he spoke to a lot of people with his comedic style, which was perfected at this point, and in a lot of ways JJ set a lot of the metas at the time. He's always had a uniqueness and individuality about him, and that's always shown through. From here on in, KSI just persistently uploads the content he knows works, so for most of us, we know the journey beyond that point, so I won't bore you with common knowledge. But going into the next segment, let's take a look at the controversies he's come up against in his career, and as you can imagine, for someone with 34 million subscribers in total, there's quite a few of them. Now, straight out of the gates, I'm not going to include every single controversy because, to be quite frank, some of them are just simply not that interesting, so I've picked out the best ones to show you. So, where do we start? Well, what about the first one? Eurogamer. Yes, if you understand, you will know a single word can strike cringe into anyone's hearts. Basically, JJ had a series called Awkward in Public, in which he would be awkward in public, right? The series is pretty funny in most cases, but sometimes he would go close to the mark, and my god, he woke up and chose violence on the day of the Eurogamer. To say he was offensive would be an understatement.
What are you doing, not fingering yourself?
Pardon?
What?
In the video, he was borderline a sexual deviant. In fact, the actions in the videos resulted in multiple articles calling him out for misogyny, sexual harassment, and just generally being a bit of a bellend.
Not big enough.
Which in a reaction video made by the man himself in 2017, he pretty much agrees with the media on this. Ultimately, KSI was banned from all future events with the Expo, and it's not hard to see why. On to our next one. This one's a little spicy. The 2015 Twitter hack. Who remembers this one? It wasn't just KSI that was hacked, it affected thousands of people too. But what the hacker actually tweeted out while commandeering his page is pretty bad. Other than the offensive language being spouted out, the hacker uploaded a photo of two strippers next to KSI sitting on his sofa, which once he was back into his account, the photo was deleted immediately. KSI also left Twitter back in 2019 due to cancel culture, which is fair enough of course. In the next drama, KSI removed 2 billion views to go on of somewhat of a channel blackout in 2017, privatising over 1100 videos and leaving around 100 on the channel. It didn't upload a single video for 4 months. The reason behind this was discussed with Keemstar. JJ wanted a break as he wasn't enjoying YouTube at that point. He took some time away from the internet to pursue other things in life for a short while. 4 months after the blackout, he uploaded a video explaining he'll be back to video creation. The following week, he uploaded his music video for the song Creature, which is an indication of what he was pursuing in the blackout and what he was looking for in the future perhaps. He also expressed that the way YouTube was heading was a worry to him. This was a fairly common worry among the large creators at the time, as it was all pretty uncertain with the adpocalypse and the changes to the platform being implemented. Since then, all of his videos have been restored. It's theorised that it was a PR stunt to promote his music, but who knows. The Sidemen drama. There have been a few issues internally with the Sidemen. JJ announced he was planning to leave the group in August 2017, stating that the reason was because of Bazinga, or Ethan.
Yeah. Why I'm leaving Sidemen? Mainly because of Ethan. I'd say he was the main reason I'm leaving. Can't stand him.
The actual reason of why he hates Ethan is a bit of a mystery. But anyway, all this resulted in several diss tracks back and forth between them all. Everybody got millions of views and everybody won. So yeah, like this whole diss track phase of YouTube, there are a lot of signs pointing towards this beef being staged or fake, especially with KSI living with Rice Gum at the time, and which we all know Rice Gum is famous for. Yes, being irrelevant. There are also a few guys that KSI had beef with, ending in several diss tracks like Net Nobody, Quadak and Dax. But I'm going to skip past these as they're already fairly well known dramas and ultimately not really that interesting. Now the big one. Blood is thicker than water, right? As you're probably aware, JJ and Deji have had quite a lengthy battle slipping a lot of private matters into the public eye, and it's quite painful to see considering their journey together in the early videos. There is a fair bit to unpack here, so I'll try my best while condensing what I can, because to be quite honest, this is a video in itself. It all started when Deji and Randolph, which is a long-time friend of KSI, had ongoing beef which essentially started because Randolph called Deji's channel dead. Deji got offended by this, not seeing it as a joke, So what does he do? Being a YouTuber, he made a reaction video. Deji explained how he saw Randolph as family and then goes on to call him the Sidemen's bitch and say that he spends more time with them than he does his own wife. JJ decided to chime in on this and make a reaction video. JJ appears to take the side of Randolph to a degree, but you can tell there's no malicious intent here. He desperately tries to stay neutral, but to be quite honest, the diss track is just too good, and Deji's kind of in the wrong. Over the course of time, several diss tracks were made, which I'm sure you can find the full set on YouTube. Most of them are pretty savage and fairly decent, so that's a plus. Ultimately, Deji came out the loser of the beef against Randolph, but the real beef was now lying between JJ and Deji. In the midst of the beef, Deji accuses JJ of taking Randolph's side and leaks JJ's bank account as a result, just to prove that JJ made a payment of £4,000 to Randolph, where Deji insinuates that he paid towards his wedding. JJ explains it was a gift and not help paying for Randolph's big day. Pretty petty from Deji, to be honest. The crux of the beef ended with several back and forths on YouTube and away from YouTube. Deji lost thousands of subscribers and his mental health suffered massively, all over an off-the-cuff remark. The beef was ended a couple of times, but each time Deji would bring it up again and again. Finally, the beef was ended in 2019, where Deji publicly supported KSI in the fight against Logan Paul. JJ did comment saying that the beef has been settled behind closed doors. I know I've missed out a lot of detail in this, but if it's something you'd like to see a full dive into, let me know in the comments. But right now, I think it's time to move on to the next chapter. Let's look at modern day KSI and where he is now. The KSI we and millions of others now know has his fingers in so many pies, he's a convicted pie molester. Seriously, this guy is a YouTuber, musician, boxer and failed crypto investor. Modern KSI is also an integral part of his incredibly famous Sidemen, the UK's most famous YouTube comedy group, of which we all know and love. KSI's main channel content nowadays is virtually just an ad campaign for his music, which kind of makes sense considering the real KSI stuff we are used to are actually now uploaded to the long reigning second channel, JJ Olatunji. Here he uploads the reaction videos, vlogs and just in general usual comedy, as well as the Reddit videos. The modern day KSI is a man of many talents and very few losses. Everything he takes his hand to he exceeds in. That's why he's essentially the largest channel in the UK, only second to No Copyright Sounds, a free use music channel. There isn't much to say about KSI now, as he's literally world famous. He's going from strength to strength and continues to do so. So let's wrap it up for today's video. KSI has given us 14 long years of laughter, knowledge, controversy and epic FIFA montages. He's proven time and time again he can achieve anything, even in the shadow of a doubt. He somehow always ends up on top. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed listening to my words, smash like and subscribe. It helps me grow more than you know. So we've come to the end of the video. If you're still here, well, thanks for staying this long. And I've been your boy, SaneSational. Peace out. Yeah, it doesn't quite have the same ring to it. I'll let JJ take it from there. Bye bye.
Your boy KSI, Jide Junior. Fuck off.